Hello, are we back up? Let me see. Uh, Hold on. Uh, are we back up, guys? We gotta be back up, right? Yep, we're back up. We're back up. Here we go. We're back up. We're back up. Okay. Here we go. We're back. We are so back. Guys, why is it August and I'm already humming some music, Christmas music? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a icon hover list. Not a variable, a list. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a variable. I don't need that. So, icon has to be for all sprites. Icon hover. Of course, the second I start homework. Wow. Bad timing. I mean, like, me up here in Canada, I still have 9 days. I still have 9 days until I have to go to school. So there might not be a bunch of streams until like Christmas time. Actually, until like next summer. Because I think it was this summer that I started streaming. So, anyways, if you missed what we did last time, I discovered that I am extremely talented at Godot because I literally definitely made a Mario clone. I mean, like it's not perfect. There's only jumping and 1-1, but and no enemies or power-ups. I'm getting ahead of myself again. So now we came back here because I had to change the thing. What's it called? I forgot. I had to change. No, wait. I had to change the title of the live stream, and now because now we're working on the Switch 2 emulator. Yay! And that's because wait, is it recording? Is it? Yeah, it is. Perfect. That's great. That's just golly. It's just jolly, golly, wally. I don't what. It's just jolly. Okay, well, anyways, we need to do more with the clone than just this. We can't just show forever. You know, yeah, we can just show. We actually can just show. Because this is what I want to do. So, if not, and delete this clone. This is just in case. This is just in case that there's still any clones left over. So, forever broadcast icon tick. There we go. When I receive icon tick, if equals empty value, if the costume number is the empty value, then we stop this script because we only want the clones to do this. If touching mouse pointer, this is so that we get that nice hover effect. then we want to set the icon hover to the X position. The reason why I did a variable and I didn't need 2 is because we already know the Y position of every single one of them. It's minus 76. So if the icon hover is greater than the empty value, hold on, we gotta reset it back here. If it's bigger than the empty value, which means it's hovering on something, then yeah, then we do this. Set X to icon hover, then show, otherwise hide, and also go to front layer. What the heck? Okay, there we go. And it doesn't work. What if I do and wait? Oh, right. Hold on. Icon hover. Are you gonna add saving users? I might. I'm only gonna stream until 7:30 Eastern time, even though on a map it shows Canada in the west. Well, on a map that I have. So I might not have enough time. Icon hover if costume is the empty value, and then do that. So I gotta actually switch the costume to hover over here. Yeah, that actually looks very cool. I like the look of that. That actually looks so cool. That makes it way more clickable, way more user friendly. Now I kind of want to do the same thing to these, but I also want to implement the clicking on these things. So when when this sprite clicked, broadcast close home screen. Perfect. Doesn't even matter if it's the hover. I think I should probably actually do that though. By the time I finish homework, the stream will be done. Yeah, well, there's not a lot of things I can do about that. I wish I could stream for longer, but I can't. Well, we got that done. There we go. So now I can't just click the hover. Maybe I can, but that does nothing. Yeah, I'm hovering over it, but I won't click, which is good because I have to actually hover over the button and not the hovering outline. All right, there we go. When is your next stream? Actually, I have no idea. It might be anywhere from next week to next summer. Because I have school in 9 days, and then after school's done, actually I might stream on the weekends, unless I have homework. Heck, I don't even need to check the time up here. I could just check the time right here. Yeah! Because, yay. One of my weird inventions saved me. So there we go. You guys also don't need to check the time. It's right there. My face cam isn't on, so yeah, you guys can clearly see that. Y'all can clearly see this. Though my face cam being in the way. So, I kind of want to work on one of the games. That's what I want to do. I really want to work on one of the games. I think the easiest out of all of these actually might be Geometry Dash, so I'm going to start there. Geometry Dash. No, wait. Games. Should I just make it all in one sprite? No. We gotta have more sprites. Geomet. I can't spell geometry. Geometry Dash. There we go. Perfect. So what are the main components in Geometry Dash? Well, let's write it down. And just in case I don't accidentally dox myself, I'm gonna turn off the stream. No, I'm just kidding. I won't actually turn off the stream. I'll just like do this. Facecam. Why not? Just in case I don't dox myself. Speaking of docs, as in Google Docs. Yeah, Google Docs. Okay. I wouldn't have doxed myself. I might. I don't know. Alright, well, anyways. Here we go. So, geometry dash in. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do switch to things. The reason why I just put all this is that it won't be just one whole document being like with a bunch of random stuff. Because Google Docs, it has these things called tabs where I could just rename this to geometry dash. But what if I want more tabs? Subtab. That way I can have another tab that's also related to geometry dash. Like geometry dash in switch to emulator. There we go. That's just giving a brief overview of this. Now we're going to rename this to main components. Now, since the song of Stereo Madness is copyrighted, we can't use the song, which means we also can't use the actual level. I feel like we could have found a better song, but still. Let's get a good emoji. Geometry. Geometric shape. Let's go with this. This looks like a geometry dash. So, main components. This will be a tool. Nope, that's not a tool. Tool. There we go, that's a tool. Main components. Well, we need a list. Let's go with icon, which is the cube. Technically, it's a square, but it's a cube. It's a cube. I'm calling it a cube. We need levels, and in those levels, we need spikes, blocks, and also we need depth. And in those levels, we also need music. We also need a main menu. Perfect. This is Geometry Dash, right? So icon, we need to work on the icon. Actually, I already have an icon. It's on the home screen, kinda. Billingus. Okay, I have a confession to make. I've never played Uncharted before. I don't even know what it looks like. I've never seen or played Uncharted. I've never seen any footage. I've only seen the movie, and I just barely remember it. So that's why we're going to work on Uncharted last. Yay. Actually, that's not a yay. Why am I saying yay? Okay, well, anyways, I'm just going to rotate that. Why am I whispering? Okay, well, let's just click on that. da 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 da. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Da 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 da, where the treetops Okay, well there we go. Good enough. Icon. I guess we could change the color. Now we need. What's the next thing? Let's skip the levels for now. Let's get our main menu. Title. Geometry Dash. Switch 2 edition. Holy, I'm borrowing a lot of this here. Geometry Dash Switch 2 edition. Perfect. Paste. I'm not dreaming of a white, not Christmas. Okay, I gotta get my head out of Christmas, bro. Let's just do that. That looks good. Perfect. Geometry Dash Switch 2 edition. And then we make the floor white with a width of 4. Oh, we also need the play button. Play. Good thing I got this handy dandy onion skinning mode. So, I think it's yellow. I don't think the outline is white though. It might be black. Actually, no, it's not yellow. It's green. It's green. It's green. There we go. And now, no outline here. Homework is so easy. I mean, yeah, you could say that because personally, I am one of the nerds in my class. If you couldn't already tell, because coding. Coding is like one of my favorite things to do, actually. And that is no understatement. Because golly gee gorsh, it's fun. Okay, so now we're going to go here. But this time it's actually yellow. No, it's like orangish yellowish. And then we get rid of that. Don't worry, it might not look as good, but it's good enough, right? Also for hold on. Also for Geometry Dash, just use Griff Batch's tutorial. Yeah, I would do that, except that would be using a tutorial. And also, I did already follow his Geometry Dash tutorial. So yeah. Alright. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. There we go. That looks like this looks good, right? Now I just gotta resize it so it actually fits. Oh, that actually looks really good. Hold up. There we go. That looks really good, actually. Da, 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 da. Also, I can make it so that it looks like that. So that way I can see the costume ahead. And then I can do that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. This actually looks really good. So, Let's make the menu music with our voice. Do 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 do. Perfect. That's perfect, right? Oh yeah, that's perfect. You can't beat that. Menu. Uh, also, um, Chrome Music Lab. When I remember when I was making the Mario Kart thing, I didn't realize you can export music as an MP3 file, like or a dot wait WAV file. I didn't even know that. I just had to use this thing up here. Actually, I'm gonna keep this open because it could be handy. It could be handy. It could be handy. What? Why did I say that 3 times? This song maker could be handy for making music, so I'm gonna keep it open. So we got the icon. We got the main menu. Actually, we didn't get any of those because we didn't even code them yet. So we want to hide that. Then when I receive home screen, hide and delete this clone. But when I receive geometry dash, we want to still hide, but we're going to create a clone of myself, but instead we're going to switch costume to the title and create the clone, and then play and then create the clone. But we have to show the clone too. Huh? Oh, but we have to actually broadcast geometry dash. Okay, so when this sprite clicked, we want to set game number loaded to, actually, no. So, I actually have a plan. So, the close home screen, you know the close home screen? That receiver, it also goes to the icons because it closes the home screen, right? But the closing the home screen also goes with a variable. It's like also another message being sent, which is the game number loaded. So what I'm thinking is that the positive numbers is for loading games, and we use negative numbers for these icons. Yeah, I'm the smartest person alive. So we just use 0 minus costume number. So we set the game number loaded to negative costume number. That thing right there. I always like to put a 0 there, because why not? There we go. So now the game number loaded, -1, -10. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. And that would be 3. Yes. It'll just, the only problem is that it'll never be 0. So I guess 0 could be home screen, right? Yeah, I guess it could be home screen, so set it to 0. Game number loaded. Okay, so now we have a bunch of states for game number loaded. So this isn't going to be game number. This is going to be program loaded. Yes, perfect. Negative numbers are these icons. Positive numbers are the games. I'm actually just so smart. So now, what we're going to do, we're not going to broadcast geometry dash. We're going to broadcast close home screen. Actually, we're just going to broadcast switch. Get it, switch. switch programs. And we want to check if it equals, if the program loaded is equal to 1, because that is the first game, then yeah, we do that. But if it's not 1, then we stop this script. So what I'm going to do is I want to reuse, I want to reuse any of this code. I want to reuse this for the home screen, the switch programs. So that way I could just like do this, broadcast, switch programs. Why is there a minute? What? Okay, well, I don't have to do that. So we're going to set program loaded to 0 and then switch programs, because this is going to be the thing. Switch programs. If it's not 0, if the program loaded is not 0, then we want to stop this script. And then always we want to, I want to have like a separate thing where it's like clear screen. Here we go, clear screen. We're just going to hide and delete this clone in everything. Icons, that's going to be here. It's going to replace switch programs. When I receive switch programs, we're going to do that. So hold on, wait. Okay, so I want to actually do this. I'm going to rename this to process programs, and then we do all this stuff. If it does not equal 0, oh, hold on, geometry dash, hide. So every time we process, every time we want to process programs, we're actually just going to broadcast switch programs, and then we're going to process programs, and then when I receive when I receive switch programs, we're going to broadcast clear screen and then process programs. There we go. If not program loaded equals 0, then we stop this script. Where else is time being used? Process programs? Nah. Clear screen is when we hide the time. Okay. We all only want to do the time stuff when. Actually, we can just always do time. We're only going to show the time if it equals 0. And of course that doesn't work. Okay, well, I think that's just gonna do it for today. Just one more thing. There we go. And there we go. Perfect. So basically now we just set the stage to make it easier to have all these other things. So let's see what we did. We did the hover thing, Absolute Cinema. There we go. Goodbye. And all these other games. Yeah, we basically just set the stage for any other games to be easily implemented with a program loaded thing. So yeah, there we go. It's a good way to end the summer. Anyways, I'm going to stop recording. There we go. So now, I hope you enjoyed this stream. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you want to see more Switch 2 emulator streams, let me know. And I will not work on it unless it's on stream. I will only work on it during streams. So yeah, if you just joined in, kind of bad timing because I'm just ending the stream. Yeah. And I'm gonna go take a shower. Yeah, I'm gonna go take a shower because I have responsibilities and I'm not a sweaty gamer. Goodbye. See you later.